welcome to the great city of Plainfield. Before I touch on the true purpose of this morning's event, I want to make a couple editorial comments. In the introduction of the President's budget, he has proposed the elimination of Community Development Block Grants, known as CDBG. It is extremely important that we do all that we can to send a very strong message that communities across these United States, whether you're urban or suburban, we all rely on community development block grants in order to maintain and rebuild our infrastructure, in order to provide services to the people that look to us each and every day. And so we cannot afford to have the community development block grants eliminated. Is that the President has also proposed to eliminate funding to Planned Parenthood. And that is something that we cannot and must not stand idly by and allow to happen, because women's health depends on the continued funding of Planned Parenthood. And so we must make sure that the mean-spiritedness of the current President must not be allowed to go forward. And we must do all that we can to make sure that we continue to provide support to Planned Parenthood, that we continue to provide support to the arts, because the arts are also extremely important. And you all know that our President has decided that he will not release his tax returns. As you have heard, for over 40 years, every president and presidential candidate has released his or her tax returns. That is important because we need to understand the sources of the funds that every presidential candidate, every dime that he or she takes in, we ought to know the sources of those funds. And so we need to know whether Donald Trump has taken money from the Russians. We need to know if there are any conflicts of interest that exist in terms of his financials, in terms of his balance sheet. We need to know that. And so the excuse that his tax returns were under the audit of the IRS, we know that's a bunch of you-know-what. And so 3 out of 4 Americans, whether you're Republican or Democrat, whether you're independent, whether you're libertarian, it really doesn't matter. 3 out of 4 Americans want to see Donald Trump's return.